America! Welcome back to Big Daddy's Kitchen, number 49. I'm Big Daddy, number 49, here to help you with your Italian food problem. And with me here on the set today is Mama. Flip the camera around there, Mama. Let them see how beautiful you are. There you go. And Lena. Come on over here, Lena. Where's my helper?
Hi.
Get over here, Knucklehead, let's go. Jeez. And wielding scissors to boot. Lena, tell the folks what they're supposed to do.
You're supposed to like and subscribe.
And maybe just send them some money. Tell them. Yeah, send them some.
Like and subscribe and
Send us some money.
go, and then
Okay,
hit
get
the
out.
notifications bell.
And send us some money.
Yes.
All right. So today, we have completed 5 previous episodes. Now we're into our first red sauce here. This is what separates the kids from the grown-ups in Italian cooking, people, okay? We're going to be doing a basic marinara sauce today, which is the base of everything. Lasagna, a baked ziti, meatballs, whole bunch of stuff. And I've resisted doing this for a long time because it's a real PIA to do. You have to slave over the stove for a long, long time. But I'm going to show you how to do this in a few minutes, how to get it started, and tell you what to do for the several hours afterwards where you won't be watching on camera. So, to start, we have our tomatoes here. Not the best. The best thing you want is right out of your own garden. Pull the seeds with your own hands, strain it, do it the old-fashioned way. But these are not bad. These are Centos. Real hard for some reason to find the San Marzanos. That's probably what you want for sure in a can, but these are not bad. I like them already crushed rather than having to puree them up, do all that stuff. We have onions, yellow onions, about enough to cover the bottom of this here pan. We've got garlic, probably a good whole clove of garlic, chopped fairly fine because we want to cook this one pretty quick, okay? We'd like to eat sometime this month. And basil, which you can chop coarse or fine. In this case, I chopped it a little more fine for the most part because again, we're trying to get this off the ground so we can show you what it's like in a few hours. And then we have a bay leaf, which is family tradition, 1 bay leaf. Oregano leaves, you can use dried oregano, it's okay, just a pinch, not too much for flavor. And then Himalayan pink salt, of course, but any old table salt will do. And extra virgin olive oil, shout out to our girl Rachel Ray, EVOO! Okay, so here we go. We've got the heat up on about 5. I'm going to put just a little oil at the bottom here, and I can see it's pretty good and hot because it's separating already. This has been heating during pre-game. And now we're going to drop our onions in. Whoa! Too hot. Let's turn that down, America. All right, way too hot. We're going to get our vent fan on here. Yeah, we're going to push that off the heat for a second. We want to get these to the point where they're translucent, okay? Then we're going to add our garlic and our basil, a little bit of salt, and that's it. But you do not want to screw up this part. Get them all in there. The onions are going rogue on me. Ooh. I might be tearing up here. Now I had a very large yellow onion, and I'm using just a little under half of it. This is the amount that I have left here, okay? This is the part that I did not cut. I could have used about all of that too, but I choose not to. One thing that can screw you up is way too many onions in this. Whereas it's hard to screw up if you use a whole bunch of garlic, and it's nearly impossible to screw up if you use a whole bunch of basil. A friend of mine loved our first episode, but she said, hey, why don't you post up a recipe? So you know what? I'm feeling magnanimous. I'm going to give you a recipe. Half the onion, a mess of basil, and about a whole clove of garlic, finely chopped. There's your recipe. And 2 or possibly 3 cans of this.
How big are the cans?
How big are the cans? Excellent question, Mama. Mama's the brains of the operation here. 28 ounces or 1 pound. 12 ounces. 28 ounces is what we're looking for. Of course, there's nothing like the real stuff. Pulled out of your own garden, made fresh, organic. I remember in years past, I actually remember certain batches of sauce that I made or others have made with the fresh stuff, and there's just nothing quite like it. That said, we can get it pretty good. And if we're using our marinara as a base for something else, it's not quite as important that you taste that purity, that 100% purity of pulling it out of the garden and doing it yourself and shucking the seeds and all of that stuff. When we use this to mix in meatballs or make a meat sauce or something else, you're going to get a lot of your flavor from that. Okay? There are lots of ways to make marinara. I consider this the only true way. Okay? The people who tell you how much sugar to put in there, or they're going to mince up some carrots, give me a break. All right, now we're going to add our garlic. And I'm going to move my onions off to the side, put the garlic right in the center, let it sizzle up. And again, we do not want to burn our garlic. Nothing will ruin your day in Italian cooking quite like burning your garlic. If you've ever done it, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to add the salt last. If you throw the salt in now, it's going to burn and get gritty and nasty. You don't want to do that. All right, now let's go in with the basil, and oh, is this going to be lovely. Now our basil looks a little smaller than it actually is. I came up with about, I cut about 6 branches maybe off of our little basil plant outside. But it looks smaller because a couple of those branches fell on the floor, and I had to run them underwater to make sure we weren't going to eat dirt in our marinara. And so it kind of clumped up. That's okay, it's still going to work great. This is fresh basil. Don't screw around with the other stuff, ever. Look at that. Oh man, and you should smell that. Dried oregano leaves, and boy, do these look like they're 100 years old. But you can still smell the oregano. Oregano is such an amazing, potent thing. I just have a little pinch there, look at that. Not even a thimbleful. I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. Too much oregano, it's gonna be overpowering, it's gonna taste a little too green. We don't want that. We're gonna work that in there. And now, you're gonna work in just a little bit of salt. Pink Himalayan salt. This is the first time, perhaps ever, that I've cooked with pink Himalayan salt into a marinara sauce. Another way my lovely wife has civilized me. And it's in there, mixed up and lovely. Let's get one last look there. Okay, I could put in more oil to keep it from burning, but that's about enough. You don't want your olive oil to overwhelm the tomatoes. Okay, and now we go in with our tomato sauce. Oh yeah, I'm doing 3 of these for sure. Possibly 4. And while I'm opening up my tomatoes, don't let me give you the wrong impression here, people, okay? I don't normally cook in these little baby pans, but we have a tiny freezer, and my wife has forbidden me from cooking in the Big Mama pot, which is how I like to do it. Like, if you're gonna do this, let's do it for the whole army, okay? And a good marinara, you can freeze. You can freeze it, you can keep it an awful long time, you can use it for other stuff. And that brings me to the secret, which should be no secret, again, to those of you lucky enough to be part of my clan, Italian-American clan, our clan. Mom's got a little Italian in her too. The secret is time. This is gonna be a whole lot better tomorrow than it is an hour from now. Much, much better. Okay. Something about it. It mellows out. All the flavors come together. The acidity from the tomatoes goes down a little bit. And I think we're gonna stick with 3 here today. And this is fairly thick, so being that we are gonna cook this for a few hours, I'm gonna add some water, only filtered water. No trashy water from the sink with a bleachy aftertaste, okay? And we're bubbling already, so we wanna turn this guy down Stir it around. We are going to bring this to a boil, but it's going to be a slow boil. A long, slow boil for about an hour. Lena, are you soaking up your heritage? She's soaking up her guts. Someone suggested to me tonight that I need to have a particular trademark for my show. That I need to get a special apron that says Big Daddy's Kitchen or something. Well, guess what? I already got a uniform. You're looking at it. When it's hot out, I wear white. Isn't that right, honey?
Yes.
With yellow stains on the arms.
Yes, it happens. Sometimes there's holes in it.
Sometimes there's holes. All right. That's enough of that. That's not getting any better. We're going to add that in there. It's going to thin things up just a little bit. Now, if you're cooking with your own tomatoes, or tomatoes that you've been lucky enough to have somebody seal into the jar for you and season for months and months with a big sprig of basil in there, it's going to be a lot more thin than this. A lot more thin. And you're going to need to cook the water off. This we're actually adding water because we're going to boil for some time, and it's going to help all of those juices, all those flavors infuse into one glorious mass. So I'm going to give this an early test with this real Italian bread that, look at this. My wife cut the bread. Dear God, what a savage. She cut the bread. But that's not how we do Italian bread. In my world, we just tear it, okay? So, here's to you, baby. This is good Italian bread from this great place right here in Boynton Beach on Congress Avenue called Palermo's. Palermo's, if you want to be my sponsor, send me some money. Not bad. Not bad for a start. We'll give it some time. We'll give it some time. Let it all work out. We forgot our bay leaf. This is the last portion. In with the bay leaf. And now we're going to let it boil slow. And we'll be back in a few hours. Okay, we're back after a good hour of stirring this thing every 5 minutes. It's looking better, it's smelling better, it's tasting better. Come on in here, get a shot, Mama. Take a look at this. This is what you want. You want this on just a nice, low rolling boil. We've got the heat on 1, and you don't want to actually cover it like that. That was a mistake on my part. You want to have it just crack like that a little bit. You do this, you risk getting it too hot, and the dreaded sticking of the pot, which will ruin everything about your sauce. But this is nice. It's not the best. It's not like off the vine, okay? But this is close to second best. And this would work with any kind of meat recipe or any kind of cheese. You wouldn't know too much of a difference. By itself, it's gonna be nice over pasta as well. But it's really gonna be good 24 hours from now. That's the real test. So, get in there, take a look at that. Isn't that lovely? So, thank you again for joining us on Big Daddy Kitchen number 49. I'm Big Daddy with Mama and Lena. Like us, share us, subscribe, send us money. We'll see you next time.
Hello, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell.
And send us money.
No, you don't need to. When people hit the like button, they'll get money.